Hello guys, my name is Sentinel. Maybe some of you know me by the name Crit Chick from the game. I I do play Locust Ranger as my main character, and I just wanted to, create a guide with everything that you need to know about the class. So hopefully more people gonna play it and Ascension will pay more attention to our class. So yeah, enjoy the guide guys. Now I will try to give you the basic understanding of the Locust Ranger. It's basically a class that is hybrid of the dot class and the class with small burst intervals that occurs once in a while. And you're gonna focus mainly on snapshotting your burst dots and try to keep on the target as much as possible. So when you just start the Locust Ranger, the first thing that you want to pick up is the Breath, Auto Shot and Serpent Sting. The fourth ability is the flexible one, but you should go for something like Aspect of the Hawk, Life Tap or Sprint. If you don't go with the Life Tap at the beginning, you are risking not having any mana regen in the end game, or not taking the Sprint, you are risking again to don't have any mobility, but yeah, you need to choose one of the three things, and it will majority of the time it's gonna depends from the skill cards that you choose. The main skill card that you're going to choose are going to be poisons, and the second skill card that you're going to choose will depends from the fourth ability on the start of the starting abilities that you choose, but it's gonna be something like Life Tap, Innervate, Moonkin Form, Insect Form, Chimera. The last two are just there, so you don't have to waste talent points on it at the end. And along the way, you're aiming to get as much mobility spells, so you can kite more easily in the PvP, something like Sprint, Hand of Freedom, Blink, Disengage, or any mana regen spell that you can pick up, like Evocation, Innervate, or Life Tap. Gearing is a tricky part about the Locust Ranger. I was trying to apply the Moonkin form leather contribution of the armor to increase it, but it's not possible because if you choose the leather agility set with attack power, you're lacking the mana a lot, and the mana problem just became much higher. And if you choose the other leather set, you're gonna end up with a bunch of spell power without attack power, and the intellect version of the build is much weaker than the agility one. So you're gonna choose the male set with agility and intellect on it, and that's gonna be the way how you going to play the Locust Ranger. You're lacking the armor, but the damage is there, the crit is there, and the attack power is there. In this part of the guide, we're gonna cover the rotation and the mystic enchants at the same time, just to give you the better idea why we are using certain stuff. And also I wanted to, give you the core abilities of our rotation and how they interact with each other, so you have the better understanding of the build. The first thing that we have the Chimera Shot, it's our hardest hitting ability with Breath also. And they gonna be our refresher of our dots on the target. The dots that we are using is Insect Swarm and the Serpent Sting. Now that's the part where I told you that we are kind of hybrid build between dots and the burst damage. And we have the Locust Shot, it's our main filler ability, and it's the thing that connects this build and make it function. When you use the Locust Shot on the target, there is two things that can occur. The first thing is, if you crit with it, you're gonna proc the part where it says that reduce the cooldown of your Chimera Shot. And the second thing that can occur is non-crit Locust Shot, and it will trigger your Wild Quiver proc. So by using it, you're making your rotation overall way smoother and interact with each other. Now, for the Mystic enchants that we will cover first, we're gonna use the Locust Ranger because it's the core part of the build and giving you the access to the Locust Shot. The second thing that you're gonna use is munition expert. It's basically there just to pump up your numbers. Now keep in mind, if you're using the bow, you need to switch to the gun, because even when you're using the bow, everything seems faster and smoother. It's actually way less damage than when you're using the gun. Now for the start of the fight, you want to use all your cooldowns. Now that is arcane power, racial abilities of the orc and the trolls, and also your trinkets. You want basically to use anything that will increase your damage output. And please keep in mind, when you're doing PvP, if you use them, the person will in most of the times run away, so be careful with it. Try to find a good opportunity to use it, but in the moment when you use it, you want to apply your dots. If you already have dots on the target, reapply them. When you do that, you are making the dots on your target much stronger. So the next part of the rotation is to apply your dots. That is your insect swarm and the serpent sting, and because of that, because of the dots that we are using, we are running certain enchants for them. It's improved sting, stinging swarm, and swarm sting. Now, all the enchants are pretty self-explanatory. It's just there to increase your overall damage output of your dots. Now, the next part of the rotation is to put your Chimera shot on the cooldown. You want to do that before you start spamming the Locust shot, because otherwise it's just waste of the Locust shot. And by doing that, you're gonna proc your Mystic Enchant Expunge that we are using, and Expunge will trigger the additional dot on the target that deals nature damage over time, stacking up to 3 times on the third. On the third Chimera, it's gonna detonate and deal massive amount of damage. After that, if you did get the Wild Quiver proc of your talent, use your Breath. If you didn't get the Wild Quiver proc, use your Locust shot. The why we are wanting the breath so early on the target is to apply the earth and moon talent on the target, and that's the reason why we are using the wild quiver mystic enchant, just to increase the chance that our auto attack proc the wild quiver. And when we did all of that, we applied our breath on the target, our earth and moon. You're basically set up. Now what you want to do is to spam your Locust shot. Now you're spamming it till your Chimera shot doesn't come off the cooldown, or till you have the 3 stacks of the Wild Breath. When that happens, you want to use your Breath or your Chimera shot, depending from what do you have available at the moment, and doing that you're refreshing your dots on the target. That's basically the whole rotation. Now, of course, this is Ascension WoW, and you can, like fill up the gaps if you want with something like Earth Shock that deals nature damage, or ability like that that will increase your damage output on the target. But keep in mind, using anything, like drastically, like wasting your cooldown on corruption or anything like that, it's just gonna reduce your damage output. And that's it about the rotation. Like you can test it around, play around with other mystic enchants, but this is the list that I'm using, and it's functioning really well. So the guide is done, and this is after finishing the guide message. I just wanted to share some thoughts about the build in general for all people who are willing to play it. So you will run in a few problems with it. It's majorly the things that you will face in the high rating, because you're the half dot build, half like straight up damage build. You will run into issues that you cannot use the softer CCs, like for example the dot classes can do. Like you cannot dot person and just fear it, or like if you don't have any dots, you cannot just like fear it permanently, or blind the person. So yeah, you're losing a lot of CCs because you're the hybrid class, because you need to be on the target to attack it. You cannot just dot it and run away, but without dots your damage is garbage. So yeah, like that's the major major problem that you will face. The second problem that you're gonna face is just uh, mana problems, because you are really mana thirsty with this build. You will run out of the mana. In the BGs you can use the pods, but in arenas it's pretty rough, especially when you combine healing into it or power word shield and that kind of stuff. It will drain you a lot. So yeah, try to find as many mana regen spells as you can, and that's the way to fight it, really. There is no better solution. And yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the guide. I tried to present everything best as I could. To be fair, I could put more effort in it, but yeah, kinda got lazy during all of this. And I hope to see more Locust Rangers in the future. Anyway, all the best, guys, and see you somewhere in the BG or arena, hopefully. Bye bye.